Big up to all those in YouTube land. Chelsea win at the bridge against the Hammers, and a very, 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 very lucky win. And no players in, even though we're down 4. Let's get into this. Big up to all those in YouTube land. I hope everybody's well. Today is a very special day. It always is when Budgie graces us with his presence. And obviously my usual partner in crime, JPT. How you doing, JPT? You good?
Yeah, man, doing good. Just got off of work, here to talk about the game. And yeah, how about you? How
Yeah.
you doing?
I suppose we must, innit? Yeah, I'm alright, bro. I just can't believe how shit we are at home. And I'll get into that really as we get into the game a bit. Budgie, my brother, my friend from another mother. How are you, man? You look so good compared to how you were some months ago, man. It's good to see you, man. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, Simon. Thank you. I'm actually feeling really well, happy. Like I said, got big plans ahead for the future. So yeah, got lots to look forward to. Um, yeah, and little disappointed in today's game. I say a little disappointed. I kind of expected the result, and I kind of expected the kind of performance that we gave in the first half. Second half wasn't quite as exhilarating or as meaningful as it could have been. And I
Mm-hmm.
think we kind of flattered Chelsea a little bit in the second half. You said it was a lucky win, mate, but I don't know if it was lucky. I think it was maybe a bit fortuitous, but I don't think it was lucky. I think that you had the good fortune of us playing badly, and therefore the players that you've got know that when they smell blood, they're like sharks, mate. They smell
Mm-hmm.
blood and they go in for the kill. And that's what Chelsea did today, from what I saw. I mean, yeah, I was playing darts in a league match today, but I was still able to watch most of the game. And I felt that second half we flattered Chelsea quite a lot, really, to be fair. And I know that kind of sounds a bit biased, claret and blue tinted glasses and all that, No, I honestly believe that we fell off the wagon a bit, and Chelsea picked up the momentum when they had to, you know.
JPT, your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I think Budgie's right. You can tell that they kind of just ease up. I think even after the second half started, and once we made the substitutions, it just really just seemed like it was more one side. I mean, you can even say that it was our one-sided during the first half, which should have been in our favor. But my God, we had like 10 shots, and I think if anything, one on target. While I think West Ham had about three, and one of them was for the goal. So I mean, they didn't get many chances, but Charity FC came out again. But no, I think Budgie's right. We did or West Ham did allow us to play our game, and of course should have been in our favor. But even then, my goodness, we struggled to even see out a win. Not saying that West Ham is there for the taking, but uh, this game, like I said, should have been a scoreless draw, or if anything, the one with the mistake from Colwell to get Bowen a goal, and then the Neto goal, which to be honest, I even missed because busy at work, and then I saw the Cole Palmer goal, which thankfully, oh, I won't even say thankfully because that's just being like I'm being a hater, but rightfully so. It was an own goal from Wan-Bissaka because I wasn't on target, and then
No, it's
um,
not a hero on target. The deflection,
the fetch
it,
just changed
it,
trajectory.
yeah, it's one of those horrible ones as a defender because once it's caught your foot and it's dipped up and it comes down, it's unsavable. Really, I
It's
watched
yeah,
it
you can't
before.
do anything about
I
it.
watched it
And
before, and
it's unfortunate also that it came off of Wan-Bissaka of all players,
Hmm.
because he has been the one shining light this
yeah, he's been brilliant for
season
Hammer.
It was
as
a
well.
good
He's been
signing from Man
absolutely
United.
amazing for us this season, and
Big
so for him to be awarded a own goal is really unfortunate, for him because he's had such a good season so far. But having said that, he was trying to defend and attack, and unfortunately, like you said, the game is what it is. These things can happen.
Mhm.
Well,
I
yeah,
think we're both at a point where like we just take any 3 points we can get. It doesn't matter
We're
how it
both
comes out.
definitely.
Mhm.
yeah. Because one thing about going into Chelsea's forum for a minute, it's been. I'm pretty sure JPT will share my sentiment when our form at home over the last month or so has been alarming at best, considering the amount of teams that have taken advantage of us, so to speak, like the Fulham. You know what I mean? When they beat us, and Bournemouth almost beat us as well. I think that Reece James equalizer in like the last 5 minutes when he scores that free kick. We've been so vulnerable at home, and as Chelsea fans, that's unusual. You know what I mean? Because normally, being at home is your bread and butter for any team, really. But I don't know about JPT, but the first half with you guys, we were completely and utterly it's not. What's the best word? When it's just completely inept. At no point were West Ham in trouble in that first half, regardless of how much possession we had.
Mhm.
Chelsea were kind of like rabbits in the headlights.
Yeah, that's another way of expressing it, because they didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it was kind of all a little bit much for them at first. And I mean, honestly saying, truthfully speaking, Chelsea grew into the game really well. We grew out of it.
Mhm.
We had trouble maintaining our level of performance. Chelsea didn't. They upped their level of performance. Right, it might not have been.
Wait.
You know,
Did we up
it
our
might not
level?
have been your Champions League level performance from history, but it was a better level of performance than the first half.
Fair
And
enough.
therefore you can't expect a lot more when a team is struggling to get a decent performance together. For them to pick it up at all is an admirable thing, And I think Chelsea have to take the plaudits for the win that they got because they worked hard for it. Unfortunately, we made it easy for you.
Yeah. Hey, big up TT. How you doing, brother? You good?
He's on
Can you
mute.
hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
Yeah,
You
man.
good?
Well, I'm just here after that shit show that I saw.
Go on. Give us your opinion on the shit show, bro. What did you make of the game?
Oh my days, man! I listen. I'm going to be honest. When I saw West Ham score, I was like, yeah, this is just another same old story, same old story.
Here we go
Opportunities
again.
created, and I said, yeah, and I stopped watching. The only reason why I went back to watching it was because I saw that I got the alert that it was 1-1. I was like, okay, let me see what happened. And then it just made me upset because I'm seeing why did Neto not start? Why was he not the one that started for us instead of Madueke? Because as much as Madueke will do the 1v1 business, when it comes on to doing every other aspect, he's not the one. Neto came on and the first thing that he did was to win back the ball, and then look what he did. So and he had a hand to play in both of the goals. So I mean, but I don't know. One thing I'll give to Maresca is at least he made substitutions early. That's one thing you have to give him. He made the substitutions. He finally substituted Cole Palmer, albeit very late in the second half. But I'm happy that we got the win. And we're not, and at least for now, we find ourselves in the top four. I still think we're going to find a lot of challenges getting top four, especially with the new signing that I see Man City have made. So, yeah.
Well, Budgie, yeah, we had a transfer deadline day today, right?
Yeah.
And because obviously I'll get onto us lot because there's obviously more Chelsea fans are at the minute than there are West Ham fans, but
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's been a very anticlimactic day for both. Would that not be fair?
Well, it's been an anticlimactic January, yeah.
Yeah,
And
he said a
not
whole lot,
just
didn't
the
it?
day, the whole of the month. I mean, okay, look, we've just assigned a new manager, and rightfully so. He says he wants to concentrate on the players that he's got right now. He needs to whip them into shape how he wants them, and I understand that fully. On the other hand, the board should be doing everything they can to help him in his endeavours to improve the club, the team, the game, right? So therefore, you would think that he'd already would have identified the targets he wants. He would have given them a list of names, or at the worst way, positions that he needs to address.
Antonio, no Antonio replacement as well, because he's going to be out
Well,
for.
we have actually. We signed one yesterday.
Did
We
you?
actually
Fergalicious.
we actually brought in Evan Ferguson from Brighton on a dry loan.
Yeah, that's a loan though. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
So we are addressing the Antonio situation temporarily. Now, I'm happy with the way that they've done it, with the exception that we've got no option or obligation to buy Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dry
Mhm.
loan. You know, we get 5 months with the boy and then he goes back, right? So I like that because it's a kind of a try before you buy type of thing. And if he can help the club and the team, then I'm all for it. We just have to be clever, and we have to be better than West Ham have been in the past with making an offer for him if he's working out for us. We have to do it on or before the deadline day next time round. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, before, not on. Yeah, we have to be able to. If we're going to get him, we need to be working on it ASAP in the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks. We need to see how he plays, whether we can use him or not in the long term. So you know, we've also brought back James Ward-Prowse from Notts Forest. Notts Forest,
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
Forrest.
yeah. We've brought him back from Forest. Now, I'm not disappointed with that either, actually. Sorry, Simon?
I was about to say, I don't know why you guys loaned out Ward-Prowse to Forest, did it? He's a good player.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think what it was that we had a Spanish manager who knew very little about the English game. Okay. Yes, he'd been at Wolves, but he wasn't very successful. He did strengthen them and he did get them into a winning format. But he wasn't very successful because of his attitude, and that's why he's no longer at West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So, you know, Lopetegui was a bit of a disastrous few months for us, really, to be fair.
Should you accept
And
Boyd?
James Ward-Prowse didn't fit into his system because James Ward-Prowse isn't a counter-attacking player. James Ward-Prowse is a game builder.
Yeah.
Much in a similar way to how I feel Conor Gallagher is. He's a game builder. He'll get the ball in the lower part of the midfield and bring it to the higher part of the midfield and then move it on. You know, that's what James Ward-Prowse can do. But also, he is probably in the top 3 dead ball takers
Yeah.
the world. In the world. And look, it's not very often that West Ham can brag on a player's abilities like that. You know, that, you know, even the top managers in the world are saying, James Ward-Prowse on a dead ball, let me have him. Let me have him. You know, like Pep Guardiola has said, you know, he's probably the best in the world. I don't know if he's the best, but I know he's certainly in the top 10. I'm just going to have to grab my charger. Hang on a minute, lad. But yeah, Yeah, so we haven't been very successful this window, to be fair. It hasn't been great.
Nope.
The two players that I just mentioned, I'm happy with that we've got in the club or back at the club.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But on that, but we're flipping it to the Chelsea side of things, and
Yep.
TC and JPT. You know what I mean? Like, at least they did something that we didn't, bro. They signed the striker, JPT. But granted, considering what's happening with who is it that's going to Spurs now after U-turn and what you said?
Oh, Tell.
Yeah. From well, at least you can say West Ham signed the forward, bro. Right? What do you think?
I can't tell if he's a serious player or not.
Who?
Oh, I see what he did.
Yeah.
I can't tell. I can't tell if Tell is a good player.
Yeah. Well, we'll see in it where he does under Ange Ball, because that's where he's going apparently. So good luck to him. But at least Spurs themselves signed a striker. Now we've had more, like Stepsy said a minute ago, we've had more outgoings than ins. We've had Kasady go out the door, Chilwell go out the door, Diassi go out the door. Mudryk in one way or the other is out the door, regardless whether it's a transfer. He's going to get banned, for what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you guys think of what's happened? Because I'm disgusted that we haven't even signed a player on loan. And Felix as well. João Felix. What was the point in signing him? Not even 6 months.
Gallagher deal.
Right.
That's all it was.
Because basically, I'm going to ask you two, because I don't know myself. What the fuck is going on?
Clear Lake is going on. Clear Lake is happening, bro. It's not true that we didn't sign nobody at the last day. We signed a 19-year-old. God, can we actually get a player that doesn't have the word teen in their age? Because we just signed for 10 million
Why did they not sign
euros. I don't know. You gotta try out, man. Just guessing them like your birth certificate that says you're a teenager and you're bound for Chelsea for 10 years.
Bro,
yeah, man. Bro, and I mean, you need a left back too. And I'm a left back. Get me as a left back. We would have Korea.
And that's another thing too. Like, so yeah, Chilwell.
Vega's gone as well. Vega's gone as well, right?
Vega's gone. Carney's gone. Cassidy's on permanent.
Chilwell's gone.
Chilwell's gone. Joao Felix is official. He's gone for a loan. Disassi, was that officially done?
Bale's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Good. And
if
then,
I had had my way, Chuck Rebecca would have been at West Ham.
I wish he would have utilized him more because he's a good kid. But after that injury versus West Ham last year, it's been the same.
I'd have him at West Ham any day of the week.
Wait, who did we play at left back if Cucurella in Colwell?
Yeah.
That gives me nightmares. I'd rather have Chilwell.
I mean, at this point, look, we're one injury in any part of our team from our season, from going from top 4 to maybe facing top 10. Because if Caicedo or Enzo get hurt, who's going to be their backup? Dewsbury Hall, and we're never calling Leslie or Santos. If Cucurella gets hurt, who's the left back there?
Oh yeah.
We're gonna use James on the left again or Gusto on the left again? Come on, we had a solution right there, but because he's exiled, and whether you rate him or not, he's still getting paid $200K a week, and we're just gonna send him out on loan to Crystal Palace, and now we're left with nothing on the left. If Colwell gets injured,
he's gonna ball.
Then okay, cool, we got Tosin, but there's the thing: Colwell's not even good enough to start.
I've been saying that for a while. Go ahead, CC. What was you saying, brother?
I'm saying, and Chilwell will ball at Crystal Palace because he's not. Listen, as much as people don't rate Chilwell is not a horrible player as many people make him out to be. You see, he still has a good strike on him. He can score goals.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to be using a wingback system.
Yeah. Please don't laugh at me. I'm going to do something, so please don't laugh at me.
Go on. It's red.
On red.
Okay. We've got white. Other is. What are you doing?
He's got glasses on.
We got Boffin. Oh, he's got a Brazil top on.
So why would we laugh at you, brother?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you're cool.
It's not like you've grown
He's
2
shy,
noses or
no,
anything, is it?
shy. Budgie, he's
Let's
shy.
be fair, bro.
Don't let the intellect fool you. He's a shy young man. Don't let the intellect fool you. Like he's a timid young man. Fofana has come back. Which Fofana? Wesley?
That's your Fofana. That's your Fofana.
Oh,
That's your
Datro,
Fofana. He's
yeah,
back.
we got Datro back.
Well, he was injured. Isn't he injured though? Wasn't he?
That's why we recalled him. Because he's injured.
I think it's Beskis. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Beskis Kitas. I don't even know what it is pronounced or something like that.
Well,
is that he was? I think he was in the Turkish league or something like that.
Yeah, I think he was in the Turkish league.
Was he
No. He's like he was at Gostetti or something like that. Some Belgian.
But yeah, on the Chelsea side of the transfer window, right? How would you guys rate this one?
I have it in my title. F-.
Yeah, it's there. Everyone's in it. Yeah, Turkish league. Everyone, yeah, cool. He's on loan in Turkey. Yep, Guzman FK, Turkish league, Galatasaray.
Galatasaray.
Well, we should have taken one of their players, but clearly didn't want to pull the trigger.
Well, no, Icardi's injured for them now, isn't it? No, is that Fenerbahce? I can't remember who Icardi played.
No, I think that's Gala. I think.
But it is Galatasaray because that's why they tried. Because did anyone see what happened? Fenerbahce tried to sign Osherman the other day as well.
Yeah, he got rejected. 60 million or 70 million, something like that.
Yeah, but at least Fenerbahce tried, TT. What did we do? Zip. We sold Cassini for 12 million. We actually our money down on Torino on that deal as well. Because didn't we sign him for 16, sell him for 12.5? Like,
well,
damn man.
Who's the manager of Galatasaray?
Huh? What was that?
Who's the manager of Gala?
Who's the manager for Galatasaray? Yeah,
it's not Jose's at Fenerbahce, isn't he?
Yeah.
I can't remember who the manager.
Oh wow. Galatasaray have not lost a match in the league. Wow.
Who's manager?
So I guess they say if you can't beat them, join them.
Someone named Okan Buruk.
Okay.
Okan Buruk, yeah, because and they're second, so maybe they're saying you can't beat them. Get the player that's great for them.
Well, hang on. If Detro Fofana gets fit, can we still register him and use him? Because he can play as a striker and he can play on both wings.
Yep.
I mean,
I don't think but he's the injury. We don't know how serious it is, though.
All right. What do you think about the Felix thing then? Go on. I want to hear Budgie's thoughts on this as well, because I'm not being funny. That makes we signed him. We all know he's a good player. He got underplayed, and then he gets pushed out the fucking door. What is this guy doing? Oh.
Well, the way I see the Felix situation is that Chelsea bought him as a prospect some years ago, 4 years ago, something like that, wasn't it?
We had him on loan, Budgie, about 3 years ago. We had him on loan.
Yeah. You bought him as a prospect, used him minimally, sold him for a reasonable profit. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think it was about 5 million you made on him, somewhere around there. And then you go and buy him back for a huge profit. I mean, I think, what was it you paid for him this time round, second time round?
No, what it was, Budgie, it was kind of like a paid swap deal between Conor Gallagher and João Felix. Conor went their way for like 40, and how much did we pay for him? For João Felix? TT?
I think 30. I think 37, 38, or
38, yeah, something like that. And you sold him for something like 31 or 32.
No, we only had him on loan back then, Budgie, because we had him on loan.
Oh, was it a loan?
it was a loan. It was a
loan. My brother must have told me the wrong information. I was going by what my brother. I might have misunderstood what was being said, but anyway,
44.5 million pounds.
That you let him go for a certain amount of time, and then you go and bring him back. But I found that really strange, and it must have been a bit unsettling for him as well as a player. Being allowed to go back to wherever for so long and not have an inquiry about him. You know.
But the thing is, what makes me laugh is you signed him. He's actually, excuse the phrase, he's actually quite a versatile player. I'm pretty sure that TT and JPT will agree with me. He's not a bad player, and he's actually with one of the players maybe we should have just kept. Because, like, we haven't even got the squad we started the season with. I don't know how the boys see it. I see it as much weaker now than what it was 6 months ago. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because on the positive, like, today, like, I did see, like Tosin. We got him in a free transfer. If it wasn't for him, that's a draw today. So I'll give like all negatives aside. I want to like say a positive about the game today was Tosin. I think he defended for his life in the second half, and he's one of the reasons why we win that game. Because if he doesn't block that kudos shot, what in the 85th, 84th minute, that's definitely going. You know that's going straight underneath Jorgensen. That's going straight in the back of the net. So that was a match-winning interception. That. So you know, I mean, we have got elements there, but with no left side, I'm kind of wondering. And we haven't got the left side anymore, have we? It's gone kind of mad. Redfield analysis. Hello, Coach Tyrone. There's Redfield analysis. Big up to Redfield analysis.
Is my eyes fooling me? Let me wipe my glasses. I can't see.
He says his eyes are falling him. Let his wipe his glasses.
So right now he looks like Vibes Cartel. Now he looks like Malcolm X.
Yeah, but go on, boys. Guys, JPT, like, give me your thoughts on this transfer business, bro. What are these guys doing? Like, this is atrocious. Give me
they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about what's to better the club. They just want to make sure to get squeeze out as much money as possible. Like, how many players did we just send out just to get about $5 million for the loan fee each? You know, that's what Carney's getting. I think that's what Joao Felix is getting. That's what who else did we loan out? Joao Felix, Carney, and Desassi. Chilwell. I think these are all. So they don't care. They'll leave us short-handed, despite all the signs we made. You know, getting made fun of for having one of the most like overinflated squads right ever.
If you include Universal Soldier, that's 5 right there, because that's Chilwell, that's Diassi, that's Casady. That's you know what I mean.
Felix, Desassi, Chilwell.
Yeah, and Mudryk, because Mudryk. I don't think Mudryk will ever play for us again.
No.
So
wow.
You've also got to remember though that the board have also got to try and balance the books a little bit better, because they spent a lot of money in the last 2 or 3 years.
A lot of money, we've covered the other money. They've made enough money where they've covered their losses. That's why we.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why possibly in this January window, which isn't deemed as vital by some, that they thought, right, we'll get some money in. We won't spend any. That'll keep FFP happy for a little bit. Keep them off our backs. You know, we've brought money in and we ain't spent none.
No, that's true. Big up, JK.
No. What did we spend for these 3 kids that came into the club now with that the 10 million on that Saint and 10 midfielder, the kid from Kazakhstan, bless you, Budgie, and then there was a third kid that we just signed. I want to say he's in defense, but
wait, is this banter? Hang on, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Chelsea are back in the title race, just believing Enzo. Okay, based on what? No, wait. Based on, hang on, Chelsea are back in the title race. That's a strong statement. Now, I don't normally pick on anyone in the chat, but I have to say, what base, because it's not me having a dig, but what do you base us being in a title race on, please? And I'm Redfield, and I got no grievance with you whatsoever, and I'm not trying to be rude, but what do you base that on? And considering right, tactically, Graham Potter had the better of Enzo Mascarera for 64 minutes. So, yeah, man, if you can explain that statement, please, by all means. Sorry, JPT. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I thought that took me by surprise, that did. So it's just like, hey, look.
Oh, no, that's what. Oh, that's who it was. Sar, Mamadou Sar, and they got the Mathis Omogu kid that we just signed today, and then the kid from Borat Land. So we spent about 25 on these kids.
Sorry.
Why did we do that?
I don't know, bro. I don't
To
know.
make, and actually, with the loans that we just gave out to to the other clubs, um, I think we made about 25 back. So I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but I think we
And
just
no
need to
reason.
kind of balance out
Yeah, and no
the
reason. Because
signing fees.
all the loan signings we've got, all their wages are being paid for by the other clubs. So at the minute, Crystal Palace are paying Ben Chilwell 200 grand.
That is insane.
That's
That,
mad.
And the other thing, of course, is that in the last sort of 10 years, Chelsea have branched out their academy so far that even my local school, secondary school, is a Chelsea academy now.
Mhm.
Right? It has been for about 5 years.
Right.
And so, like Chelsea are never going to be short of talent, ever. Because they've got academies in Ghana, they've got them in Nigeria, they've got them in like places like the United States, they got them in places like China. They've got
New
academies
Zealand.
everywhere. Chelsea have now, everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
in my local town, you can't walk around anywhere on this side of the town, the southern side of the town. You can't walk around anywhere without seeing a lad or a girl in a Chelsea tracksuit, an academy tracksuit,
Yeah.
because they get them. And I've noticed that a lot of the younger sides are using a lot more local lads, not just from Crawley, but from other towns around the UK where Chelsea have got academies. They're
Mhm.
actually bringing in some of their school kids
Yeah.
to fill in some of the slots that they've got available at the academy. And I've noticed that Chelsea have been doing that a lot over the last couple of years. And that's why you're finding people like Chukwuemeka and people like that coming through, because they were going to school in Croydon or wherever, and these local academies that Chelsea have set up brilliantly, I might add,
Mhm.
have picked these guys up and they've gone, right, get into our academy. And
Yeah.
then they're going through the academy. Now you're seeing them Premier League games. This is the sort of stuff that West Ham used to do years ago.
I understand. I understand where you're getting at, but the thing is, at least back then, West Ham had the ambition to try and go up and up. We don't see that same kind of ambition from our all owners right now. Hang on, let me just quickly read this
You
comment
see it
out
more
here.
in Villa. Look how I wish we were moving like Villa, like for example, because how many
All
people did they
Forest,
bring in?
all Forest, all moving like Forest, because they took a slap on the wrist for financial fair play, and now it's paying off.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could set West Ham up in any other way than the way it is now, I would do a mixture of Aston Villa and Brighton. That's how I would love to set West Ham.
The buying power
Because
of
they
Villa.
actually talked to the manager. They talked to
Buying
Unai and asked him
power
what
of
he wants.
Aston Villa with that ownership, but with the model that Brighton use, mate, you'd be unbeatable.
I get you.
You'd be the new Manchester United.
Hang on.
Worldwide.
Hang on 1 second. Richie Moneymaker says, big up the legends. According to my sources, João Felix went because our coach didn't fight for him. The sporting directors were fighting over letting Diassi go as well. A lot of people pissed off the sporting director. Well, can I ask you a question? And I just want to ask everybody, other than João Felix, is anyone actually sad to see Diassi go? Because I ain't.
I packed his bags.
He was a liability. He was a liability. So if the sporting director got pissed off because Diassi got let go, seriously, what have you been watching? DJ Crane says Forest, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth. That's what I want. He's bantering now. Felix is going to have a chip on his shoulder next time he faces Chelsea. They're selling him this summer. Says JPT. Maybe. He says, "Are you alive?" Says Chelsea Sessions. That's TT. There was a meeting today, and the sporting director said that our coach had no excuse not to use the sub when the sporting directors have got rid of the players he didn't want. So that's why all right. So basically, he's pissing them off because he's not using the squad how they believe he should use it. Seeing him more make subs. Yeah, I know. I understand what you meant, Rich. And I'm not being funny. I think we've all had problems with the way Mascarera has been making like substitutions, particularly when he makes them like 5 minutes before the end of the game. So yeah, but on that,
Did you just say masquerade?
yeah, I said, bro, I call him Mascara. I call Masquerada. I don't rate him, bro. I'm not being funny. I'm,
The
I'm,
thing is, though, Simon, the way it should work is that the ownership should take care of the money
Mhm.
and the employment of certain positions, like for example, the sporting director, the director of football, those kinds of things are down to the board,
Mhm.
basically.
The personnel.
And once the board have done that, they should leave the sporting direction to the sporting director.
Big up,
And this is the problem we've got at West Ham.
honey.
David Sullivan is getting his sticky little stubby fingers into every pie he can, right? Now, we've been told that out of the 9 players that we signed in the summer, 3 of them were down to Lopetegui, 3 of them that were down to our director of football, who should be doing all of that, and 3 of them were down to David Sullivan. How can you employ a director of football and not give him the reins and the full control, excuse me, of your recruitment? That's one of the main jobs for a director of football. So Chelsea are having a similar struggle by the sound of it.
Yeah, we are.
That the ownership aren't allowing, or that the director of football or whoever it is aren't allowing each individual element to perform. They're digging their heels in and saying, "No, I'm going to help you, but by doing this, or I'm going to do this, and you just do that." If you employ a man to come and paint your house, you're not going to just ask him to put the base coat on and then I'll finish it off for you. You've got to give the man who's doing that job the opportunity to do that job. You can't cut him short, and that seems to be what Chelsea are doing. And West Ham are guilty of it all the time,
Well,
Mhm.
no, go on, JP. I was going to say, because the power struggle we've noticed in our boardroom has been part of the reason why we're in the dog shit situation that we're in now. Wouldn't you agree, JPT?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because as Budgie said, it should be an understanding like to handle the personnel like from the ownership side and the boards, while the manager and also assigning the manager to do the job and assist him or at least let him have the authority to make the decisions to help get success. But the thing is that the ownership, at least from our side, is more so here's what we're doing. You better be on board. These are the players you're gonna get because we're telling the sporting directors who to go for, who to look at, not to address our issues, and you're just gonna make the most of it. Similar to what we said with Pochettino, where it's like we're giving him a whole just collection of Legos and just say make something, but it has to be like go ahead and try to make the Millennium Falcon, but there's no instructions. There's no nothing. None of the pieces are great, but yeah, go ahead and make the Millennium Falcon. It's gonna be a nonstop cycle, and it's all lies that we're just gonna keep getting more yes men, and that's their promise of we're gonna stop the revolving door of managers. We're gonna get a new manager every year at this point.
We believe you, Richie. Just in the comments there. Everyone's going to tell us the truth and ask Chelsea sessions. I don't make things up. I am well informed. That may be the case, brother, but I'm not worried about how well informed you are. I'm more worried about how well informed our board is. And again, I do sympathise with what JPT said about how Enzo has been given a Lego set, as he put it. But I'm not being some of the stupid things that he says and comes
And
up like the
does
other day when he was talking about how Sanchez has been a hero for us. Really?
he's only made 4 mistakes. Not a big deal. You're only leading the Europe in the most mistakes leading to goals as a goalkeeper.
Yeah, you know what I
But I don't
mean?
see what the big
Statistically,
deal is.
fuck. Right. Oh, God.
It's a shame because our goalkeeper didn't make a mistake today, but couldn't keep a clean sheet because one of our other or one of Enzo's little favorites had to make a mistake.
Yeah,
Big up,
Cole.
Rosie.
Yeah,
You know his favorites. There's 3 favorites: Noni, Colwell, and Sanchez. Those are the ones who are
Bro,
always safe.
he went to the chance Nani missed as well. He should
Hey,
have.
remember what he said? That's what they pay him the big money for. He's gotta have that killer instinct. No, he just wanted to take Chalaba's goal. It would have been an amazing and erupting celebration in all of Stamford Bridge. But no, he had to be a prick and stake his goal. It's like, yeah, that's what they pay me for. His only, besides, and I'm, apologies to Kate on this one. The only goals he gets are from from Wolves, and then the little bullshit goals like he takes, like the one he had, thanks to the kid that just joined City,
Keep my
and now
missus' name out of your goddamn mouth. Don't make me Will Smith you on YouTube.
Wolf Smith, you.
No, but you're right. I understand what you're getting at, and you're not wrong.
That was his only good game.
Because
That,
that's the thing, though, and I will say this, because from supposedly a week or two ago when we were like free scoring, all of a sudden like our attack looks kind of ish.
Do you
Jackson's burnt out, man.
relying too heavily on Cole Palmer?
Well, not really, because Cole Palmer's always just been doing what he's been doing, and I'm not being funny. He's playing in a different way compared to how he used to. I actually preferred Palmer on the Poch.
More freedom.
Because one thing about Palmer and the Poch was Palmer used to have more of a free role where he would float around and find the space and do his damage. Where in this kind of like Mascalella system, like it's kind of like he's like a 10, and he's like he tried to play like a 10/shadow striker. That was the role he referred to as, but I don't think it suits him, because I know a lot of people, a lot of things made about his goal square, and he can be creative, but he hasn't got that Xavi Alonso or Xavi or whatever you want to call it. Like, he can't dictate a game. Do you know what I mean? He can't control a game, if that makes sense.
And in fact, I do know exactly what you mean, because earlier on I mentioned Conor Gallagher, who can. He can dictate a game.
Yeah, he could do the dog's work.
Him with Caicedo last season was a big solution to the second half of the season.
It was.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, it's
Caicedo
not any
dog's mess when he first got to Chelsea. Couldn't string 2 passes together. But look how well he's improved. Now he's starting to look like £100+ million player. You know? And, like a mate of mine, a really good friend of mine, is a Brighton fan. And, he said to me, don't be surprised when Caicedo becomes like Premier League Player of the Year, because he reckons he could very easily do it. Do you know what I mean?
To be honest,
he just needs to be on a title winning team.
Some fucking great talent, absolute quality talent. The trouble is, and I think it's a similar trouble to what we had up until recently, is that the manager hasn't been able to gel it all together. It's okay having elements that really work well, but unless you can wire it all together and make it run as a unit, it's never going to be successful. And, I don't know if Maresca is the man for that or not. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. But I would say that right here, right now, if Carlo Ancelotti walked through the door at Stamford Bridge, within 2-3 games, you would see a massive difference.
Wait. It's funny you said that, Budgie. I said that a couple of weeks ago, that when Carlo Ancelotti first came, he had to adapt his style to the English game, and he did it well. That's why he was the first Chelsea manager to ever do a double. When Antonio Conte came to Chelsea, within a month or 6 weeks of his job, he got pasted by Arsenal. He scrapped everything he did beforehand, went straight back to a tried and true system that he had, that he knew inside and out, and adapted it for the players that he had around him. It's that little bit special, if you like. That little bit what makes a manager different to any other. Now, I know Chelsea want to do the clever ass thing, and we want to find the next early one before everybody else. But let's be honest here. This guy was a championship manager. He was a championship manager, and he almost blew the championship, by the way. With a 12
if Chelsea were that serious about getting the next big thing in management, they would have got Arnie Slot before Liverpool did.
Or Almiron.
I would even say Xabi Alonso if we're really trying to go for a young like up and coming manager, but I think
Well,
that would never happen because it's
You know
Liverpool.
what? I
Under
wanted
him.
West Ham to get not Robin van Persie. What's his name?
Rude.
Van Nistelrooy.
Oh,
Yeah.
the coach. Yeah. Big up, JK.
I wanted us to get him.
He wasn't bad.
Unproven and all this, that, and the other. But I reckon the football he would have played
Big up,
with
Vans.
the players that we have.
Big up, Dimes. Hey, he's the only Manchester United manager to go undefeated this season out of the three. So
Yeah, it's crazy. And well, that brings me to my next question. Actually, it's for Budgie.
build him a
Actually,
statue.
I'm going to ask him two questions, and then I'll flip the other, get the second question to the boys, right? But I want to ask you this: as a West Ham fan, are you guys now regretting getting rid of Moisey? That's my
No,
first question.
no,
No?
but I'm not. Oh shit! I've just pushed the lens out of my glasses. No, I'm not personally. Look, how can I put it? David Moyes was incredible for West Ham. Okay, I admire everything that he did to improve our club, not just the team, the club. And I admire and respect everything he did, but he took us as far as he could. And I don't believe that he would have been able to break through the ceiling that he has. That it's not self-inflicted or anything like that. It's just that there's a certain level that people can reach. And I think he reached it when he took us to the Conference League final. I think that was his limit. I think that was his ceiling, his peak. And for us to go further on, for us to do that in the Europa League, for example, we need a manager, or a coach that thinks more radically, because it's the radical managers that win trophies.
Yes, it is.
They think outside the box.
Yeah, they do something very different. Yeah, exactly. That's why I said about the
So,
Conte thing.
so that's why I say, as a West Ham fan, I can speak for some, not all, but some of the voices that I hear tell me, no, we don't regret getting rid of Moyes. What we do regret is replacing him with Lopetegui and not Graham Potter at the beginning of the season. I was dead against Potter coming to West Ham, dead against it. Okay, I hold my hands up and say I was wrong. Okay, maybe we haven't had the greatest of results yet, but we are seeing such an improvement in football, attitude, in camaraderie, in the fun they're having on the training ground, the smiles on their faces. And I'll tell you something else as well. He's clever with the media. I love him. I think he's great. I've never changed my view on someone so radically, though, before.
No, fair enough.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the grandpa you guys got. I wish we got that one. We got the who wrote it in the chat. The boys give it everything they got. Grandpa. This was Grandpa where at the press conference that he where was this Grandpa? The one with backbone. And I don't know. But I mean, I don't blame you guys for going for Lopetegui because, as you mentioned, Moyes probably ceiling was the Conference League final. And then you replaced him with a Europa League winner in Lopetegui, right?
Yeah.
So he did win it.
Serial winner in that competition. He won it 3 times with Sevilla.
There you go. I mean, so it made sense. It just didn't work out. And that's
let me quickly bring JK into this. Big up, brother. How you doing? How was Jim?
Yeah. To be fair, I didn't really go gym today, so that's the funny thing. But anyways,
then, bro.
no, I was going tomorrow. Today's just more my rest day.
Yeah. What did you make of the West Ham game today, bro? Give me your thoughts, and then I'll ask you about our manager situation. And then I'll ask Budgie and everybody else.
The game was meh. You know what I'm saying? Funny enough, I did predict us to not win. I actually predicted a draw. Um, if you saw, because I was not impressed with the way we've been playing recently. Um, so that's why I said that. But by the way, we had lots of the ball in the first half. We didn't really do nothing with it. It was just this pass around the back. I really felt West Ham actually came with a style of play. Do you know what I'm saying? With a game plan to nullify us in that first half. Hence why they were so struggle to we were struggling to break them down. Do you get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Big up,
yeah,
yo. I hope you feel better, brother.
they also got the goal. They also got the goal as well from Levi Cole.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the last straw. Levi Cole is rubbish.
Thank
I'm
you.
being he really is rubbish.
I've
I
been
think
saying
he
that for
should,
about 2 months, bro. I've been saying that for like
and
2 3 months.
to even think that we could have got 70 million off him is crazy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's so overrated. I think we should sell him in the summer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Jackson as
He's
well.
bad, but I think it's more in the system. But go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, but he's played games throughout the back before. If you look at him against the Roberto De Zerbi, do you know what I'm saying? In Roberto De Zerbi's system, there was no difference. They were passing on the back as well. But anyways, what I was saying is, Jackson as well was not being. He was not good. Not good. Sancho was ghosting. But the second half, if I'm going to be honest, we did pick up the energy. If I'm going to be honest, we did pick it up a bit. Hence why we got the two goals. But today was we needed the 3 points. Other than that, I still need to see a level of consistency for me to be moved. We've not signed anyone in the transfer window, which is quite disappointing. Although we know that we need positions, and especially with the amount of players we've sold, I do think it's right to sell Disasi. I don't really rate him either. So yeah, Jar Felix is gone. So I guess with these players going, I guess we will have I guess we're going to have a full team for the Conference League knockouts. Um, because I think our plan is to try and win that Conference League. So looking at the window from what I've seen, so I think we're going to go full strength with the Conference League. With that, with that being said, I do think, yeah, it was an okay performance. We got the win at the end. But I do think West Ham did have some chances. Do you know what I'm saying? And you guys were talking about West Ham's program Potter. I do think when I saw Potter got hired, I do think it was the right appointment for them. In a
I agree.
case of which, yeah, in a case of which when Potter was here, we can all tell that the job was too big for him. So because of that, that just made him look like a bad manager. I never really thought he was a bad manager. It just we all just said that because we were too angry. Do you know what I'm saying? We were finishing 12th, we were close to the relegation. Because of that, out of anger, we said, oh, he's a rubbish manager. He's not a rubbish manager. He will do well. Just give him the players, he will thrive. Do you know what I'm saying? We saw at Brighton. I do think it's about time West Ham need a style of play where they can see some fluidity in possession.
Yeah.
Because if I'm going to be honest, I've got an uncle who supports West Ham. Sometimes he would take me, he's a season ticket holder, sometimes he would take me to games. Do you know what I'm saying? Normally I'll go to the West Ham Chelsea one, so which is why I never liked West Ham away. But this season we did beat them, so it was lovely. I was at that game, but I wasn't unfortunately I wasn't in the away end, I was in the home end. So yeah. But yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
mate,
but
we
yeah.
don't mind if you want to come start wearing claret and blue, bruv. You know, you're welcome. You're all
No,
welcome.
no, no. That'll never happen. No, that'll never happen. But
But
yeah,
no,
what I was
I
saying,
totally get what you're saying there, bruv. You
mm,
know, and to be fair, you know, as I said, I really didn't think Graham Potter was the man to do that with West Ham. I am, however, you know, changing my views on it, and I actually do believe that Graham Potter will get us into Europe, not necessarily this season, but like you say, give him time, give him the players and the time, and I think he'll get us into the Europa League, and I think we'll do very well. And you spoke about the Conference League. You're in it right now, aren't you guys?
yeah, we
You're in.
are.
Do you? I want to ask you all individually. So do you take competition as seriously as you would if you were in the Europa League?
Yes, I say
Yeah,
yes.
we should.
Should we or are we?
No,
Was
Are
it the
you?
question?
okay. Will
Now we
we?
have to, because now that B squad is, once we get closer to your Fiorentinas or even the Portuguese team, was it Guimarães that's in the competition, they can beat our B squad. Let's not pretend like the people coming off the bench in versus the likes of Ipswich, Everton, we were shit. Like we're
There's
not
that
gonna.
JPT.
Hmm?
Oh wait, carry on. You can carry on.
No, no, that was it. We should go with all serious with this because with us being not only the club with the most budget or the financially what is it
No, brother.
worth,
Mhm.
we're like tripled or more than the whole rest of the other teams combined. So to have us not win this competition, we is gonna be the jokes of all jokes. The
Yeah.
whole team,
I mean, the
Oli,
thing was,
Clear Lake, take this competition seriously. Complete the set, please.
Well, that's what
when
I was
when
about.
you were announced that you were going to be in that league, Europa Conference League,
Mm.
you were immediately labelled as favourites to win it. Same as West Ham were. I mean, we were labelled as favourites to win. Although, having seen some of the teams that we were up against, not many of them, but some of them, I wouldn't have put us as favourites. But however, throughout the whole competition, we were, and we won it. And so Chelsea should too, and you shouldn't take it lightly for the simple reason is that trophy wins come little and often to clubs like West Ham, right?
Mm.
Chelsea a little more often, I understand that. But even so, every one of them's precious. Every
Well,
one of them.
Mm.
I was
Don't
going
matter
to
if you win 3 a season, every one of them is precious.
Exactly. A trophy's a trophy.
but hang
A
on.
champion is champion.
When
Go ahead.
no, it's not just a champion, a champion. One thing about it, the reason why I want to win it, because it's not only just about winning trophies, it's also about football achievement as well. Getting your fucking team's name in the record books as
That's what I'm
a
saying. Champion is a champion.
Just
because
There's
imagine this for one moment, lads. Chelsea win Conference League this year. Automatically, you will qualify for the Europa League next season, no matter where you finish in the league, right?
Mhm.
So you're instantly guaranteed European football. So anyway, imagine this scenario: Chelsea win the Conference League this year. They enter the Europa League next year and win that. Automatically get put into the Champions League for the following season and go on to win that. Chelsea will be the first team to win all 3, one after the other.
you reckon?
this is
That'd be
why.
insane to do it, but also too
I
that
wouldn't
that's
put
not
it
the
past
same finish
Chelsea
as
to do
fourth.
that. That's what I'm saying.
This is
Chelsea have
why.
the history and the know-how to win tournaments.
And
That's
this is
true.
why this trophy this season will be important for us. You know what I'm saying?
Because,
As much as some people want to dismiss it,
no,
it will be a good trophy.
Jacob,
Huh?
it's important. It's important because one thing about it is, yeah, this is one thing. If we win the Europa League conference, like Budgie said, it can build onto better things. But I'm not being funny. I know the history of my club. I know that we should have been the very first team from England in Europe, but thanks to the fucking bullshit with the British government, and the Football League, it never happened. And I'm not being funny. If we win the Europa League conference, we're the only club in existence to win every European competition there ever was.
Yeah,
There's that as well,
and
Wolfie.
and to highlight that, there's only one player in existence that has won all 3 of them competitions, and that is Emerson Palmieri. He won all the other stuff with Chelsea and the Conference League with us. He's now got tattoos of all of those trophies on his legs.
He's won at every level. He's done what we're looking to do basically now.
Hmm.
Exactly, yeah. The only thing you can't do is win the World Cup. He was in the Italian squad that has.
Yeah, that's true. But we've got a complete trophy set anyway. We've
Well,
got
somewhat.
a complete cupboard. There's no other London club that can say they've got a complete cupboard because West Ham haven't got any big European trophies or Premier League titles.
Oh, we haven't. No.
Well,
Only
remember,
one
there's a
we, the only one we have got is the only one that you haven't got.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Budgie,
and
we
that's
always
why we
say
have
like we're not the only London club with European glory. I'm like, so this is something you could take to the bank to anyone up north if you want.
Yeah, well, no, not really, because if you actually look at
Oh
it,
man, Emerson Palmieri, I swear, I miss him. I'm being
he's
honest.
a good player though. The thing is, there's a lot of
He was a
good
good
players
player.
we could
That
have
season
used
he
now.
had, the Sarri season, the season he had under Sarri, my God, that was amazing. I swear.
Well,
I'll
what
Remember
tell
the
you what,
time
right?
Alonso had his bad
All
patch
last
and every.
season, Emerson was my player of
Yeah,
the
I've always got
season.
respect for Emerson. I
Yeah,
love
Emerson
Emerson
is
Palmieri.
I love him.
yeah,
He
but Jacob,
worked so well with
let
Picard.
me ask you something, right? Because I did interrupt you, and I apologize. So I'm going to quickly flip the question on you quickly, right? Where do you think this result with West Ham and our overall form and the way the squad is now? Because let's be honest, the squad's a mess. Where do you think this leaves Enzo, bro? Do you think they're going to sack him by the end of the season? How do you see this panning out for him?
He's walking, dude.
As I said, with Enzo Maresca, um, um, to be fair, going on forward, I still think his job is on thin ice depending on what happens in the Conference League. I genuinely think if he misses top four and does not win that Conference League, I genuinely think yes, the fans will start calling for his head. But then the thing is, I don't think this ball. I think this ball gives him time. I genuinely think they don't want to move. I don't know.
Well, this squad
I
don't need
really don't know.
anyone. They don't.
I
Look,
really don't know. And the thing is, Wolfie, what I've been saying is this: before anything happens with the manager, we need to sack the sporting directors. Because year after year, they're going to keep employing the wrong manager year after year. Do you know what I'm saying? It was Maresca, and then there was Poch, and then there was Potter, and then there was Lampard. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I am there
I
every
don't
day.
even know about even know about the future right now. I think it's a question that's hard to answer, but we'll
mhm.
have to see. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I was saying when before was that winning the Conference League. Another thing that none of you guys mentioned is that it will give our squad a mental morale boost. Let them feel what it's like to win something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Despite of what they've gone through the last two seasons, they really need to feel something. They really need to feel that winning. They really need to feel a trophy in their hands. Do you know what I'm saying? Saying, you know what, we've done this. You know what I'm saying? We've done this at least. Therefore, this can go on to give them. This could be a mentality boost for them for the next season. Do you know what I'm saying? To go on and win bigger, get bigger things. To go
You know
on and
what?
do bigger things.
Even a
Hungry
loss
anyway.
in the
You're a
final would
footballer,
do
so you'd
that.
be hungry anyway. Especially if you haven't won nothing. Where's the hunger in this Chelsea team, boys? Where's
Yeah.
We need the mentality back. Neto needs to win something. He's not won anything before. We also Cole Palmer needs
he
to win
played well
something.
today?
Jackson needs to win something. Just do you know what I'm saying? Noni needs to win something here.
They need
Do
to
you know what
get
I'm
the
saying?
hunger back in the
What this
club.
will
They
do
need
for
to feel a
Jackson.
part of. They need to feel a part of the Chelsea winning line of what they had the Drogbas. This I'm not saying that they are those players, but I'm saying they need to feel
No,
what all
no.
the other legends felt. Do you know what I'm saying? As in, like, listen, we did this. We can now put our names in the history books. We did this. We are the ones that we were the ones that did the final set of European trophies. You know what I'm saying? Imagine the mentality they can get from that. Do you know what I'm
Well,
saying? It's very,
the
very
only one that can
And
do
important to
that
in,
is
win.
and in
James.
As I
fairness,
said, they need to win a trophy this season.
you've only
The
got one
players need
player
it.
there that's ever won anything as well, haven't you?
Reece James, and then if you're talking about internationally, you're talking
Chalobah
about
has as
Enzo.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
Enzo
I'm
has.
talking about at club level.
No, no.
Yeah,
So
then it's
Reece James is the only
Chalobah.
one that's won anything with Chelsea.
And Chalobah.
Yeah,
These teams and Chalobah.
Chalobah has won the
Chalobah
Super
too.
Cup. And that's about it. Yeah, you're right, Budgie.
Chalobah.
No one actually knows what it's like to win
Yeah.
in this team. So if they get that, if
Welcome
they
to
can
West
get that,
Ham's world, brother,
Yeah,
because we didn't know
he
what it was
never
like
won
to win
the
for
Premier
47 years.
He ain't won the Premier League, has he?
But he's like, so that's what it feels like to pop my cherry again.
you know?
He's
You know?
like, what is
Let me
this?
tell you
What is this
something, though.
feeling?
Let
Got
me
the
tell you
tasty
something,
music.
though. The day we won the Conference League, well, the following day when we had our homecoming, our victory parade, if you like, around Stratford and the East End, let me tell you something. There weren't a West Ham fan that didn't feel as good as a Chelsea fan or a Liverpool fan or a Man United fan did when their team came round showing, the Champions League trophy. We felt as good, and so will Chelsea. It will feel good to see a European trophy. And like all these people that say, "Oh, but it's only the third tier, this or it's that,"
Doesn't
mate.
matter. It's trophy. European
You
trophy.
face you face who's in front of you on the day. And
You tell
we
me.
came up against some bloody good teams, and even in the final, Fiorentina in the final, that was a tough game. They played well throughout the whole of the tournament. You
They
know,
did.
And they're
uh,
gonna come into this. If we play against them in the final, they're gonna have that extra hunger to want to be to win it this time.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
have
again.
to make sure that our boys are
But
ready for this.
JPT, this is where the test comes. This is where it's up to us to be able to capitalize and smell blood. Do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? In that
But this
final,
team already fumbled the cup
Fiorentina,
under Poch.
This is the thing. Fiorentina have lost their last two Europa Conference League finals. If they get to this one, I'm telling you, they're going to be hungry. Do you know what I'm saying?
They
They
will
are
Mate,
be.
going
they're
to want it.
adamant.
And
Guys,
it's
I
up to
can't see
us.
the
Do you know
league.
what I'm
That's
saying?
the thing.
And
Yeah,
this
they're
is
gonna
why it's gonna
want
be so special if we win it. Do you know what I'm
to.
saying? As I
Mm.
said, these players need to feel the moment. They need to really win something.
But
Jackson
they
needs to
have
win
to rise
something.
to the occasion as well, though, bruv. Because
Exactly. That's
Exactly.
what I'm saying about these
they
players.
can't
Know their
treat this
content,
like
bro.
it's just any other game.
These
And
players
that's
You
what
know
know,
I'm
their
worried
content.
about. But the
you've
budget, this
got
is what
to have
exactly
the
what I'm worried.
mentality that this is the most important game in my life.
And also Maresca, he plays a big part in that as well. Do you know
Yeah,
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
of
yeah,
course.
he does, bro.
You know,
Do-
and
I
That's
I
why I
like
Wolfie,
don't
when
like him
Wolfie,
because the motivation comes from him, and it's not
I
there.
Wolfie,
Game
I
against West
Wolfie,
Ham, you could see there was no motivation for
I
60 minutes,
Wolfie,
bro.
I Wolfie. Hear
Think,
me?
yeah,
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 bro,
yeah,
we can hear you.
I look, listen. The major problem that we've been in, yeah, is these owners. These owners
They don't
don't
think
have a
it's
clue. They
brother.
don't have a clue. They don't have a clue what they're doing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
look, here's the thing, right? They have a they have a plan, but it's their money plan. It's a money plan for them. It's not for the club needs. It's not for the fans needs. It's for their plan, right? And their plan is flipping, right? What me and JPT have always been saying. We've
Mm.
always been saying about what their money plan and their plan to get rid of players here and there and chopping players here and there. They're not here to be successful or sustainable. If they want to be sustainable, you have to build around players like Palmer, Casado, and then they're not really doing that. They keep on buying young players. You can't build around buying young players all the time. You have to
And
have
Dios,
somebody. You got to have somebody with experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you, Deals. That's the problem with this team, and like in essence, when you continuously flip the youth, all the experience you gain, you lose. Like with the players that we've got, for example, in terms of like people like we got rid of people like Trevor Chalobah, only to bring him back and get rid of players like Diassi, then sign João Felix for 6 months, and then try and flip him, get 5 mil for him.
Well, we
Yeah,
you
have
know
got
what's
good. We have got some good players. I'm not saying every player that we bought is shit. No, we
no,
bought some good players,
I
100%.
feel sorry for that guy, I feel sorry for João Felix. I really do.
But
He's not a
You see Maresca, yeah. I'm not blaming him for anything this season. Do you know why? Should I tell you the reason why? Because at the end of the day, he's been brought in to do a job, right? And again, if you look at all the other managers that we've had, right? Have all the other managers done what Maresca's been doing this season?
Mm,
do you
no.
know? Do you know? In my opinion, the one
Yeah.
thing that Chelsea lacks is John Terry as their assistant manager.
Yeah, we lack somebody with authority, like somebody that's there that knows the
Somebody
club.
that knows that bloody club.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody
And
that knows exactly what you boys on the terraces are looking for.
we don't, we
John
haven't got
Terry is
nobody.
the man for that. I'm telling you.
These owners haven't done their due diligence on about Chelsea. What is
They
Chelsea
haven't.
about? Because
Well,
if you look at it, yeah,
But with all
if
due respect, though, Deals, that they are
yeah,
American, and
yeah,
90% of the American approach towards sport is
yeah,
like the NFL, NBA, and
yeah,
well, it's
all
all
the
But
ad ridden.
Budgie, I'm glad that you brought that up because this is exactly what I said last week.
You did,
Exactly
yeah.
what JPT. Do you remember? And this is what I'm trying to say. They do not understand the heritage, the culture
But
Mhm.
of.
JK,
This is JPT.
Wait,
This
wait,
is not
hold
even
on,
like a
Dios.
dig. This is not even like a dig at anyone. Like I'm being honest. This is not. I'm talking about the owners, not the fans. I'm just saying the owners. JPT. Yeah. I'm
Dude,
just
just say
saying.
they're American, dude. It is because we are money first. When you talk to an American
Yeah.
owner about this, there's like heritage.
They don't know
What the fuck,
anything about the
heritage? I'm here to make
heritage.
money.
Yeah,
That's what they
exactly.
think.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know anything about the heritage of the sport.
They're
They don't
prostituting the
even.
club out,
They don't
bro.
know how important it is to have an actual figure, legendary figure, work for your club. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't know about winning. They do it as in the style of the NBA, as you said, Budgie. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like I said this. I said this. Like and maybe you'll probably laugh, but I said if I was the UK prime minister, what I will do to get football, I think football will be back if only European owners owned football clubs in the Premier League. In my opinion, I don't know about you.
I get where you're coming from,
Yeah,
but I think it's probably more about the European people in general, football fans, educating the American owners or the foreign owners of what it actually means to support the club, to own a club, to play for a club, to wear the shirt, to talk to the fans and for the fans to come to the stadium and all of that. They need it rather than it just being a dollar sign spinning constantly.
yeah.
They've got to think about the humanity of it. And I think that lacks a little bit. It's not just the Americans, and please don't think I'm digging out the Yanks because I'm not.
Oh yeah,
I'm
of course, it's not. Yeah,
like my girlfriend's an American. So it's not like I'm digging them out. What I'm saying is that the business model for Americans, and
Mhm.
also for some of the Middle Eastern ownership, it's very, very different. It's all about the dollar sign. Whereas we would rather, you know, the chance meeting of an old ex-player or whatever and a quick selfie with him and so on and so forth. We're all about that. And that's why we go to the stadiums, for that little chance that we might get. Do you know what I mean? Well, a lot of us are like that anyway, let's put it that way. Whereas, you know, in from what my understanding of it is, in a lot of the like American sports like the NBA and NFL and so on and so forth. If you want to go and have a selfie with a certain player, you have to queue up. You have to pay your $10 or whatever it is to get your signed autograph and your photograph and whatever. You know,
Wolfie,
it's very commercial.
Yo,
It's very, very commercial.
yes, it is. Budget.
what do
Yes,
you
it is.
think? What do you think these directors were doing for the last 30 days? What do you
Uh,
think they were doing?
talking crap and trying to flip money.
So
If
good
I'm
dick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just selling players, really.
like I said,
yeah.
we're effectively 5 players down because you can talk about the ins and outs, like Chilwell, you know, Casado,
Disassi.
whatever, the Sassy, and even Mudrik as well. He's MIA as well. Regardless whether he's sold or not, I don't think he's paying for a Chelsea ever again. So like this squad depth we've supposedly had at the beginning of the season, that's all evaporated now. So
And
Carney's gone
Noni,
down on loan as
Noni
well.
Madueke, he's supposed to be going in the summer as well.
I think he's gone.
To
I
to
think he's. I
Newcastle?
think. I think
And
He should have
he's
sold
also,
to
def.
Newcastle when he had a chance.
what's happened to Esteval? Can
He's
someone
well,
tell
Esteban.
me what's
he's coming
happening?
in the summer.
He's
Yeah, he's
coming in the
coming
I
this
summer.
thought it
summer.
was January
No, the
2025.
No, no,
summer.
he's coming.
No,
He's
summer.
coming this
And
summer.
the same
He's
with
coming this
same with
summer.
Kendry Paez.
But
Oh,
let's talk about the game. The game, Budgie. I feel like first half. I feel like you lot picked us up
I'll be
well. I
right back.
feel like the. I think
Yeah.
that the defense. I think that your defense actually managed to attack very well. Like I
I
feel like
agree,
the
mate.
game
For
plan.
the
I
first
think
45 minutes, we
yeah,
schooled Chelsea a
yeah,
little bit,
yeah,
in fact.
yeah. You did.
We
You did.
dominated that game.
I feel like Bowen and Kudus. they were making all sorts of problems for our defense.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like Colwell was having a lot of errors dealing with Bowen and
Yeah.
Kudus, both of
Yeah.
them.
But the thing was, it was a little bit unfair that it was Colwell that had to deal with both of them. Yeah, because they
Yes,
were switching and swapping around a lot, you know.
yes,
And that was
yes,
one of the reasons why we were quite dominant in the first half, because those two were switched on and they
yeah,
were playing the game properly together, you know.
yeah.
In the second half, like I said to Simon and JPT right at the very beginning, I felt that we flattered you a little bit in the second half. I think we stepped off the gas a little bit when Chelsea stepped on it. We kind of allowed you more space than you should have had and allowed you to play your game, and we suffered as a result of it. We've got nobody to blame but ourselves, and in fairness, it was probably a fair result because you had the better half of the better
Chances, yeah.
chances and everything in the second half, which is the most important half. Let's be honest. You know.
I feel that you was missing a number 9, like a Ferguson, for instance,
Yeah,
because
Yeah,
100%.
well, yeah. I mean, we'll see that from this week onwards. Now that he's an official West Ham loanee, we'll start seeing him. We couldn't sign him in time for tonight's game. The only number 9, well, we've got 2 number 9s on our books that are fit. That are unfit, that are out injured, in
Antonio and
Antonio
Fulkrug.
and Fulkrug. We have also got Danny Ings, but you know, we might as well be playing Captain Caveman. You know, seriously, I mean, the guy needs to retire from the game. Although, having said that, he kind of looked rejuvenated the other day. You know, not tonight, but the other day up against Aston Villa, he did kind of look a bit rejuvenated, and he has done for a couple of games. So, but yeah, we do. We lack a number 9, and
Budgie,
Antonio now is a bigger loss than just not having him available to play. You know, at first it was a massive worry on everybody's minds about whether he would survive or not. But you know, he's a big character, especially around the training ground. And it's a lot.
What did you think of Sulla today? Because I feel like he had Reece James on toast at certain times. He was making Reece James making
yeah,
run
Sula was
for
great
Bro, he
today.
I
cooked them.
think
It was
yeah.
Salieri is a quality player, mate, and I've said it all along because when he first came to us, I had a look at everything I could find on him. I'd never heard of him when we first signed him, so I had to look at everything I could find on him, and I thought, oh, if he can play like that in a bloody claret and blue shirt, I'll be well happy. And now we're starting to see it. We see it against who we played? Oh, Ipswich.
And you played Villa as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when we played him against Ipswich, he had a game and a half, and I thought, wow, you know, this is going to be Lucas Paqueta's replacement. That's what I thought.
Oh yeah, I if you had him today as well, Vaqueta. If you had Vaqueta today as well, I thought that he would have been a difference as well
Yeah, we would have
for
been a
you.
very different side. Yeah, he strained his thigh against Villa, which was really unfortunate.
But
But
you
you know,
see
the
from
thing is that
our side,
Bowen's back, so you know.
you
Do
see
you know
from
what's
our
crazy
side,
about West Ham? Go on, Deals. What are you saying?
you see from our side, Boji, what's his name? Bogie, Budgie. You see it from our side, Budgie. What do you think of Palmer and Noni and Jackson? What do you think Jackson's missing in his game? Because
Uh,
Jackson, a lot of
I think
people,
what Jackson's missing in his game isn't in his game; it's in his preparation for the game. I think, you know, we spoke a few minutes ago about having club legends around, you know, ex-players to assist the coaching and stuff like that.
what the
You
club's all about.
can't underestimate how much difference that would make. Trust me.
But
I mean,
Do you think
we've got
Drogba would
Cole,
help him a lot?
eh?
Do you think a Drogba type would help
If Drogba was
Jackson?
willing to come to Chelsea as a striker coach, Nicholas Jackson would probably get the golden boot for the next 3 to 4 years.
That's pushing it.
Or if you had someone
that's
like,
Put him on the wing.
yeah, I mean, even if you had someone like Torre Andre Flo come,
that's someone who knows the roots of the. That's old
Or
school.
Hasselbank?
you see
Hasselbank
where
as
I'm
well.
coming from,
Yeah,
though.
Jimmy
If
Floyd.
you had
Yeah,
an ex-striker come into the coaching staff as a striker coach
get Crespo in there.
and concentrated on Nick Jackson, mate, that boy would win a golden boot. He gets himself in so many open spaces. His
Yeah, exactly.
movement is unbelievable.
Just his finishing.
Budgie,
Yeah.
do you think we get top four? You think we get top four?
I would like to say yes, but if Nicholas Jackson keeps missing the opportunities that he has, and other players aren't pulling their weight as far as scoring goals is concerned, then you may struggle. But I think you're capable of it, definitely. Definitely
You know
capable.
what? You know what's funny? Like, you know what I was saying? Like West Ham again. Like West Ham actually have very good players. If I'm going to be honest, I've always said to my uncles that is the way they've been managed that's key. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I've
yeah,
also realized as well, not many of them have been allowed to express themselves. When I've been watching them, when they
yeah,
play this football, when they sit back, they don't have enough time on the ball. You got a lot of players that just want the ball, possession. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And this is why I said Graham Potter will be good for you guys because
I
he'll be
agree with
more.
that.
And this is what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of good talent to unlock, a lot of good players, quality
I
to
mean,
unlock.
David
Paqueta,
Moyes
yeah,
and Julian Lopetegui, we had Brazil's number 10 defending.
yep, he starts as well. Paqueta, he starts for
Yeah,
Brazil.
yeah, exactly. He's their starting number 10. Or sometimes he'll play the number 8, but very, very rarely. Normally, 9 times out of 10, he's wearing a 10 shirt or 12 plus, But
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, he wears the 10 shirt for Brazil. And he starts for Brazil 90% of the games. And yet David Moyes and Julian Lopetegui were asking him to defend.
Yeah. Didn't he
That's
play back
That's
on
what
the
I'm trying to
left?
really
say.
poor management. Really
Yeah.
poor.
And
Budgie, I
then you
don't
got
think
Somerville as well, very good player.
Budgie, I don't think Graham Potter's a bad manager as what people think he is. I
No,
think
he's not.
being at Chelsea, I think being at Chelsea was a different type of pressure for him. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I feel like he was not a Chelsea type of manager. I feel like he's made to be your manager or a Brighton manager or
yeah,
somewhere
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Something more
He's
at his
made to
level.
be there. Yeah, somewhere more at his level where
yeah.
there's less pressure. Where
Well,
there's
my,
less
my
pressure.
brother, he's 10 years older than me, staunch Chelsea. Used to go right from the late 60s right up until the mid 90s. He was going to football every week with Chelsea, with all the boys.
One thing though, I can see what you're
And,
trying to do. I can
my,
see what you're
my,
one
um,
one thing though, Budgie. I can see what you're trying to do and play in the playing style because in Lopetegui, I didn't think that you was playing that well as you're doing now.
They had
no,
no game plan.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Look, we've had players that we've nicknamed the Invisible Man because they're not getting into the game because they're being played in out of position, and things like that. And yeah, Lopetegui and with David Moyes as well, we had players that were very capable sitting on the bench doing bugger all. I mean, like You know, there were times when we were struggling to get any movement going forward, and we'd have Manuel Lanzini sitting on the bench, fully fit, ready to go. You know, literally splitting matches with a ball in training, and David Moyes just sitting him on the bench, leaving him there, and then bringing on, I don't know, whoever in front of him when we need a player that's going to bring play forward, you know, and stuff like that. So, you know, we've had managers that have stifled the play through lack of
Flexibility.
Yeah, well, no, they've got the ability to do it. It's just they haven't had the.
Tools.
Yeah, you know, it's like there's no, what's the
Good
what's
thing
the
you
word?
did.
Spontaneity, right?
Yeah.
Now, Graham Potter is great with his spontaneity. I mean, he started us against Liverpool with a back three, midfield five, you know, and then two up top kind of thing. And within about 7 minutes of the game, he knew that weren't working. And we went back to a flat four within 7 minutes of the game.
That's another
So
thing I
that's
like
what I'm
about
saying.
Potter.
That's what you call good in-game management, you know.
Exactly.
We still got fucking spanked, but at least he had the bollocks to change his mistake because they
This
went
is, you
through
know,
us. Like,
you can see at Chelsea as well. Budgie, when he was at Chelsea, what I saw as well is that he was one of those managers. Yes, he have a certain style of game plan that was not working, but what he did, which a lot of managers didn't do at the time at Chelsea under Clearlake, is that he tried every flipping thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And it still was not working. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So hence why that season we had a lot of changes to the
yeah,
lineup. Do you remember we changed our lineup 52 times? It was
yeah,
because Potter wanted to see what would work and what wouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what
yeah,
you're gonna get with Potter as well. He's when he sees a problem, he can tweak it. Wolfie, do you remember the Man United game where we drew 1-1? I don't know if you know. With the Jorginho penalty, we went ahead. Potter was managing, but he saw that the midfield was not good. He saw that the midfield wasn't good enough. So what in game he had to change. I think Mateo Kovacic needed to come off and then was a change that changed the game specifically. And then from there, we started to dominate the midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a good thing about Potter. He's a very good tactician. Do you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So, yeah, this is something that you guys can work with. I'm being honest with you. As I keep saying, this guy needs backing. The way
yeah.
Brighton backed him was
And not
immense.
just from the ball, he needs backing from us lot on the terraces as well.
Yeah, that even from the
Yeah,
fans,
I mean, the
you
thing is,
guys need to
he's
give him
given us
times.
reason to believe again now, you know.
Yeah.
And so once a West Ham fan has belief in his head, you know, there's no boundaries anymore. You know, you can go on and
Wolfie,
do it.
Reach
Wolfie,
for
You
the
know?
sky, as they say.
Wolfie,
Reach for the
you're not
sky.
sold. Wolfie, you're not sold on Maresca, are you?
Bro, I'm very much Varesca out.
Oh, swear down your Maresca out.
Yeah, bro, the guy's got like budget. Okay, you missed the conversation there that we were talking about, but I had this conversation with you a couple of weeks ago, bro. With Enzo Maresca, I'm not being funny. You can tell with managers, just like with players, if they're a bit special. This guy's not. It's that
Mm.
simple. I'm not.
Where you?
This ain't no massive rant about. Oh, I want him out because I hate him. I don't. No. None of that. Just he's
That's
not that
on
good. Does anyone honestly see anyone in this panel or on this chat right now honestly see in 2 years him still being there?
I don't. But even if he goes, but even if he
See,
goes,
everyone started
I don't think
laughing.
anything.
That's what you
No,
think.
but even if he goes, I don't think any of this changes. I think because the board will continue to get the next yes man. He will
But who's to
continue to
say?
get
Who's to say
the
that you
next
don't walk in?
inexperienced manager.
Who's
As I
to say
said,
that you don't walk at the end of the
this is
season?
what I'm
And
trying
so,
to say. Wait, deals. When remember at the beginning of the window, we said this. When Poch gets sacked, the board should not go for any sort of mediocre manager. Then they were targeting these championship Maresca. Do you know what I'm saying? And then there was Kieran McKenna. Do you know what I'm saying? There was Xabi there. Xabi was there. This is an experienced coach. Look at what Hansi Flick is doing with Barcelona, for
Luis
Christ's sake.
Enrique.
Yeah, it was Luis Enrique. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, Galatasaray had a manager. That manager, I think he's still there, but that manager was free to go. And that manager that season, I think he got Galatasaray 102 points. Do you know what I'm saying? And won the league with them that
Mm.
season. He was available. Why did we not get him? Why
Do you know
did
what
we
the
not get these
Do you know
managers?
what the problem is? Do you know what the problem is, JK? They don't want a experienced manager coming in and speaking the truth about what's going on in the club, actually going on in the club with the owners.
Well, when that's
I
the
think it's
problem.
the board. I think it's the board that doesn't want the good manager. I think
Well, in that
genuinely
case, we
think
lack
Yeah,
ambition.
the
It's
ownership would probably want them. They don't really care. I don't think they care which manager they want. They just want a manager that can deal with handling young players, turning them into winners. There was Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho was there. Do you know what I'm saying? This is a board problem. I'm telling you, because I'm
I
telling you
agree.
this. I'm telling you. Let me tell you why. Because this project, the young, I keep saying this. I'm gonna keep saying this. The young player project, yes, it's not impossible to win with it, but just get the right young players. I can name you young players that can get you over the line. You Victor Yokeres. Do you know what I'm saying? They can win you
M-
trophies. Kvarastalia
Musiala,
is young. He can win you trophies. Do you know what I'm saying?
Musiala,
But exactly. But Musiala's there. He's won trophies. And he's under 25. Do you know what I'm saying? Who else is there? Then you've got there's Lamine
Wurtz,
Yamal.
Wurtz,
Do you know what I'm
Florian
saying?
Wurtz.
There's all of these players. This is what I'm trying to say is just how you recruit. That's how it is. But if you go and get this player from I don't know, wherever, 19, we no one's ever heard of them. Do you know what I'm saying? But then you're not even going to use them. You're going to send them out on loan for profit, making sure they're not even going to get played. That's the
Budgie,
funny
Budgie,
thing.
Budgie. Didn't you change your sporting director as well, by the way?
Yeah,
Didn't
we've
you?
now got the same guy that I can't remember his bloody name. Tim Steiden's gone.
Oh, he's
And
gone.
we've now got the guy that worked with Potter at Brighton. And yeah, I mean, it could work. I mean, it worked well for Potter at Brighton, so why not?
You
You
just
know,
better hope. You just better hope that Porter don't come for Sanchez. You just better hope that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Potter likes Sanchez. I think he rated Sanchez.
no, mate. I'll tell you what, though, he might come in for Casado.
No, don't leave our boy
Oh, we'll
Casado
give him
alone.
20 mil for him.
That's if you have the money for that.
Mm-hmm.
No, joking aside, though, you know, it's been a long while since many West Ham fans have been able to sit back, relax, and go, let's just let him do the job. Look, let's just let him choose who he wants. Let's not put stupid ideas in our own heads that we're going to go and get, I don't know, Kylian Mbappe or whatever. You know, let's not kid ourselves. We're West Ham. We're not Barcelona. We're not Chelsea. We're West Ham, you know. And we are going to get some bloody good players, but, you know, let's just judge our recruitment and that on how well Graham Potter and his team do. You know, so far he's had a month. I don't really think it's that fair for us to be judging him yet. You
Agreed.
know,
You have to
but
see what happens.
if we are going to, I'd say so far so good.
Do you think you finish
No?
higher than Tot? Do you think you finish higher than Tottenham and Man United? Because I think you have
Um,
a chance. You have a chance. You
I
have a
I
chance.
believe that we're Tottenham and Man United. See, them two bastards. They just sometimes they sometimes find a little purple patch
Yeah, and
and they
they
really
grind
rub it
people with
in
their rings
when
together.
we're having a real shit time. So, if I was going to put money on it, I'd say we're going to finish above Man United.
I
I'm
think
not
you
so
can
sure
finish
about
above.
Tottenham,
I think you
but
can finish above both.
I
but
think
yeah,
you can
the
finish
way
above
So
things
do
are going
I.
for Tottenham at the moment, if they don't change their manager anytime soon, then yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
boys.
Spurs. I don't think they will change their manager. If I'm going to be honest, but yeah, I think you finish above them both. I just
Yeah,
I'm
think.
hoping
I
so,
think
mate.
so as well. Because realistically, Man United are a bigger mess than we are, and bloody, I don't know what's happening with Spurs. It's just Someone's just said, here you go, play football with no defense.
Wolfie,
No.
you think we get top four, Wolfie? You
Nope.
don't think so?
I don't think we get top 4.
Oh, what about you? What about you, JK?
I don't know if I can judge yet.
Well,
You don't
all I'm
know.
saying is my squad depth, the amount of players we got rid of, the amount of players we got left, the amount of holes we've got in our squad, 2 injuries, we're fucked.
You think so? I don't know
Yeah,
about that,
if
But
bro.
they don't get injured,
Man
bro, I'm
City are
losing
not
the
doing
other
great
centre back.
either.
Let's be
That's
Yeah
the
and
honest.
thing.
no. Yeah and no. Yeah and
Now,
no. Because I
Mr.
think
Price, I'm going to have to go because it's like
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
we are going to round this up, Budgie. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Yeah, no. All right,
All
mate.
your
No worries.
questions we can put to
big
one
up,
side.
Budgie for meeting you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
big
yeah,
up, Budgie. It's nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
mate.
you, bro.
Yeah.
Budgie, if you haven't, please subscribe to Budgie and the Green Street Elite. He's a top guy and he's really looked after me as well in the time I've known him. So please, boys, if you can drop him a sub and a like,
Oh, of
I
course,
would
of course,
appreciate
of
it
course.
because
Of
he's a
course.
Thank
top
you, Jen.
guy as he's here and he's made the time as well. But boys, I'd like to thank JK. I'd like to thank Deals. I hope you feel better as well, bro. Don't think you ain't slipped my thoughts because you have, bro. I hope your arm's feeling better.
It's
And
getting
like,
there. It's getting there,
good to
bro.
see
It's
you
getting there,
appear,
bro.
like, you know what I mean? And Budgie, and thank you for your time. I'd like to big up everyone in the chat. I'd like to thank Leroy. Obviously, he's just turned up late. If you don't know, get to know about the Fight Week show. Big up Rosie as well. Big up Miss Melina in the chat. Big up Richie Rich Moneymakers in the chat as well. Everyone else that's been in there. I'm trying to see if I skip them. JPT obviously is just skipped out because he had to because he's on missus duty. So big up to JPT, my partner in crime. And as
Big.
always, DJ Crane was in there as well. If I've missed anyone, please let me know. Stepsy as well. Big up to you. I hope everyone's good. Chelsea Sessions, obviously TT. Please sub and subscribe to him. He's a lovely guy, and everyone. Oh, you go. Big up Mr. B as well. Late comer. And win. At least you can win those fucking spuds. Richie says, big up the legend, that's Budgie. But anyway, boys, everyone, thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
guys.
time. We're going to wrap it up. Budgie, thank you for being a good guest, bro. As always, it's a humble to sorry about my camera's a bit messed up at the minute. My setup's a bit screwed up. But bless you for your time, brother.
Don't
Take
worry,
care.
man.
Good night, man. Stay safe, brother.
Take
Thank
care.
you, everyone. Stay
Thanks,
safe.
guys. Thanks for the chat. And everybody, see you soon.
Peace.
Take care. Take care.